I think we had already really established the space at that point,
For sure.
you know, from a recording and from like a sound design perspective. So to have someone with as strong a voice as Jimmy to come in and add to it, then I think kind of inherently there's going to be a clash, just because he has such a individual force of sound. You know, he is who he is, and his playing is amazing, and it's so different from Steve's.
Yeah,
and I think that like helped in establishing the space further, because I think if they had a similar approach or a similar sound, it would have become muddled or diluted in a way, you know? So I think when we could really take both sounds, let them be what they are, you know, let Steve have the consistent sound across the record, which we worked really hard to present. Definitely. And I think we did. And that was from before we started recording. You and I had discussed it's important that he have a consistent sound across the record, because we want that to be the thing that links all of the synth parts, even if that's just like what we're talking about. What is the sound design from a synth perspective going to look like? I want it to work with him because it's his record. Like, what sounds I thought fit him from a personality, in terms of personality or in terms of just sonically. But I think kind of back to the Jimmy track, that already felt really strong at that point. And I think at first when we heard everything that Jimmy did, you know, it was like, this is great, but how are we gonna make this not just two drummers playing, you know, against each other? We wanted it to be more conversational. And I think the way to really have that line be drawn was to give each its own very individual space.
I definitely was concerned when I pulled up Jimmy's files and listened, and of course they sounded great, they were recorded really well, but when I had my mixer brain on, I was like, I'm in for a little bit of a workout, because the sounds were so different, you know. And when I finally took a step back and, like you said, just let each one be their own, then it all just kind of fell together, and we were able to, like, the conversation exists in their tone, in their different tone, which is really nice.
And I think, like, you could kind of say a similar thing about even the track that Ben did, where that is such an individual thing to him. It's his sound, but we're still bringing it into this environment that we're working to create. And you're doing Ben in that situation or Jimmy in this a disservice by trying to force them to fit the mold that you've already made.
For sure.
So you have to just kind of make the change within your own creation to let that shine. You know,
having just to be adaptable and flexible to whatever's happening. Which I think to me is the number one thing to do as a producer or as any kind of the engineer, mixer, mastering, recording, whatever, is to allow the artist just to be what their sound is. You know, there's no reason to, I mean, sure, we definitely changed Steve's natural sound in the record. We can't deny that, right? But we still honored what he was trying to represent with his initial sound.
I mean, you change it, but it's not coming from nowhere.
Right.
It's not like we just made up a new sound for him. It is the result of what he has communicated in the recording itself, you know.